Today, I want to talk about the short secret plan to take control of AMC. I also want to expose the hidden identities behind these short sellers and also talk about the US credit rating downgrade and how that impacts AMC. So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I want to dive straight in with the key information. So, Sajika tweeted saying, look at Cineworld. This was their plan for us too. Destroy shareholders and have a bank-owned media outlet free to push its corporate agenda on the unsuspecting public. This was their legal version of corporate espionage and hostile takeover by institutions, effectively bankrupting companies and allowing the lenders to take control. So this article says, as part of the financial restructuring of Cineworld, shareholders of Cineworld lost their ownership, and the company is now controlled by a new incorporated entity controlled by the lenders. This was effectively the shorts' hidden plan to try and take control of AMC. If they managed to push AMC into bankruptcy, they could have taken control, wiped out us retail investors, wiped out the shareholders, escaped their short positions by issuing billions and trillions of new shares and allowing the company to do whatever they wanted it to. For Cineworld, it says this restructuring allowed the movie theatre chain and its various parts to reduce their overall debt burden by approximately $4.5 billion. How coincidental that AMC has the exact same debt burden, but Cineworld's debt is magically wiped out as soon as the lenders are happy to take control. However, in terms of AMC, the lenders of AMC's debt turned around after trying to short us, threw a tantrum and said, fine, you bail out AMC's $4.8 billion of debt. Well, that's exactly what apes are doing by attending movie theatres and helping AMC to become more profitable, and those short sellers cannot stand it. Everything they bet against us will eventually turn them upside down and lead to massive margin calls, giant liquidations, bankruptcies, and obviously the squeeze. And interestingly, Juju has found the reason as to why these shorts continue to try and delay the AMC lawsuit and the AMC conversion and split. If you didn't already know, Rose Izzo, the exact same Rose Izzo that is currently part of those plaintiffs trying to sue AMC and trying to stop the conversion and reverse split, is now taking her house bid seriously. It says Rose Izzo is running for Delaware's at-large congressional seat on the Republican ticket. And as Juju added, saying, well, would you look at that? Juju is wondering who exactly is paying her to delay the reverse split. Asking if she's the only one that thinks this whole thing is starting to sound pretty fishy. So it seems even potential Republican members of Congress are the ones trying to delay the reverse split. As Juju says, I wonder on whose behalf she's trying to delay this split for, especially as the plaintiffs Allegheny only hold a few $1,000s of shares, and even if they bought at the very tippy top would only be $64,000 worth, but have already spent $500,000 on legal fees. Clearly somebody is paying her, and not just her but all of the other plaintiffs in supporting this case to try and have the reverse split delayed. And exactly as copy-paste has added, saying the infighting in the MMTLP community isn't simply because of differing opinions, it's because some members of one side are being paid to cause drama and distractions, while the other side is seeking actual resolutions. This is obviously very similar, if not the exact same as AMC as well. One group of people, the apes, are inspired by the squeeze and are hoping to try and cause the squeeze as soon as possible. The other side seems hell-bent on trying to delay the reverse split, delay the conversion, attacking Adam Aaron, and doing anything they possibly can to cause AMC to fail, saying that you've been fed a false narrative to keep you docile. And that's exactly what short sellers in AMC are trying to do as well, trying to feed you false narratives, trying to make you hate everything to do with Adam Aaron, AMC and everything else to try and convince you to sell your shares. You can currently get a guaranteed free share of Tesla, a $50 cash reward, and up to 15 free shares, which you could always use to buy more shares of AMC, GameStop, or a vape. All you have to do is sign up to Moomoo using the link in the description below and make a required temporary deposit. Moomoo is free, it just requires that temporary deposit, and it's a really great way to help support me and to help support the channel. And on top of that, Moomoo is also very easy to use. They've got tons of technical indicators and advanced charting tools, and even their own options trading platform. And this is also happening at very interesting times, as Chris Ramsey tweeted saying, talked with the CEO of a publicly traded bank. He told me that him and other bank CEOs firmly believe we are headed for a crash, and that he's seeing similarities between now and 2008, saying this bank CEO and other major bank CEOs are substantially tightening up on loans and preparing for the worst. Which, as I said, is really interestingly timed, as yesterday or overnight, Fitch has just downgraded the US credit rating from AAA to just AA+. Now you may say, Tom, that sounds like a fairly small downgrade, but it actually pulls the US out of that list of top tier countries, which could inspire many other nations, primarily China and Russia, to sell tons of US treasuries, hundreds of billions, maybe even trillions of dollars worth. Flooding the market with hundreds of billions of dollars of treasuries would almost certainly crash the bond market and likely crash the stock market too. Finance Lancelot actually has an excellent theory on this, but first let's go through that article. So it says the US government's credit rating has been downgraded following concerns over the state of the country's finances and its debt burden. Investors use credit ratings as a benchmark for judging how risky it is to lend money to a government. The US is usually considered a highly secure investment because of its size and relative stability of the economy. However, this year has obviously seen debt spiraling out of control due to interest rates and therefore interest debt payments. And Fitch has also said it expects the US to slip into a mild recession later this year. I guess we'll have to see if the other ratings agencies, Standard & Poor's and Moody's, follow suit, and if this time round will be similar to what happened back in 2011. But let's also talk about Finance Lancelot's theory and how the AMC squeeze fits in. So he said step 1 is credit downgrade, so nations dump US treasuries. That obviously causes a massive panic in the bond market, leading to rapidly rising rates. That therefore leads to restricting swap lines and obviously further tightening of loans, which we're already seeing by some of these major bank CEOs, causing a dollar shortage. Obviously, if people can't get access to credit, if people can't get access to dollars, it's going to cause mass panic in the markets. Step number 4 is to stage some kind of incident, some kind of credit event, some kind of black swan event that I can only imagine what it might be. Step number 5 is after that incident and after that mass panic, the dollar skyrockets, causing further panic to spread to the financial system, leading to the ability for the US to print trillions of dollars to buy back its cheap debt, ending with a great reset. This would obviously be a massive master plan, potentially as part of that great reset theory, potentially including the AMC squeeze as well. Obviously, if we do see mass panic in the stock market, it is likely to lead to an AMC squeeze, as many hedge funds will end up failing in that panic process. And obviously, when a hedge fund fails, it not only has to sell off its long positions, but also close out of its shorts as well. And this is all happening at very interesting times when AMC is setting new all-time revenue records. Not just post-pandemic records, not during pandemic records, but all-time 100-year-long records. AMC last weekend set a new all-time high revenue record with the release of Barbie and Oppenheimer, which obviously is going to show that movies are not dead, the movies are very much coming back, and that AMC will soon be profitable and doing better than it was in 2018, 2019 and before. And obviously when AMC becomes profitable, that therefore destroys that short thesis, and AMC will end up moving up as more and more institutions buy in, until we end up at a point when the shorts are so financially stressed that they are forced to give up while being liquidated. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.